Neil Williams here, president of Turnkey Parlor Ice Cream Equipment Superstore. Today we're looking at a Taylor 161. There's our lead tech, Thad Davidson. We're going to show you how to adjust the viscosity, which is the hardness of the product. Basically, Thad already unscrewed it, but show people where, you basically unscrew two little screws there, and then you pop this cover off. Probably best to do it maybe while it's unplugged so you don't shock yourself. So you look here and you've got mix, standby, wash, auto, and pump, but this isn't a pump machine, so that does nothing. But you'll see right below those buttons, you've got soft serve, viscosity, shake, temp. You've got a mix, and you've got standby. Okay, so you could stick a little Phillips screwdriver in that hole. You don't have to do it that. You can just show them where you would go. So if you're gonna do the viscosity, which is the hardness of the product that's coming out of the cylinder, you're going to adjust it. It's like a little dial, a little clock inside there. So you want to adjust maybe an hour at a time. Right. And it's about 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And it's at 10.
It's at 10 a.m. right now. So if you want to harden the product, you go towards the max, towards the right. And I would say you do about an hour at a time. So from 10 to 11, or if it's set at 1 and you want it a little harder, you go to 2 o'clock. And then you test it and see how it does. If you go too far, you're going to freeze the cylinder, so you don't want to get too greedy as far as the hardness on the product. And then if the product is freezing the cylinder, you come in here and you adjust it downward to the left, counterclockwise. That'll make the product softer. And then the mix button, or the mix dial, that one there is for the hopper on top, for the mix temperature, okay? If it's creating ice, you wanna go to the left. If it's too warm, you should be, around 38 degrees plus or minus. You don't want it to freeze, so if it's 32 or colder, then that's not good. You wanna warm it up. And then the standby temp is the temp that it goes on when it goes into sleep mode overnight. That's going to be, if it's overnight when it goes into sleep mode, you will dial that up. It's basically going to be the standby temp of the cylinders and how many times the motor will crank and the refrigeration will go on overnight. The standby is basically to save energy and keep the product from getting overbeat. And then if the standby temperature in the morning, if the product that comes out in the morning, the liquid, is too warm, you want to make the standby a little colder, okay? That's the machine cycling now. It cycles periodically when it needs to freeze the product in the cylinders. But yeah, pretty easy. You come in here, you just got to be careful. Obviously, you don't shock yourself. You should probably turn off the machine and unplug it when you adjust, and you just have little screws down there and you put the cover back on. But that's it. Turnkey Parlor.